All right, hey everybody. It is early in the morning, and it is Mr. Sakurai presents. Um, this is an exciting time. I am super excited. I'll make sure all my sounds are good. Yummy. Yeah. So, if you hear random noises in the background, my cat's wandering around. Uh, so I love Super Smash Brothers. Just to give you guys a little bit more about me, if you're coming to learn about me, let me adjust that a little bit. If you're coming here to learn about me, but also you're probably more likely here to watch the stream, and we'll definitely discuss this. Um, I am a person who loves video games, but growing up, I didn't have access to video games, and so I ended up having to play them at friends' houses, and I've developed a deep love for them and for the industry behind it. There are, it's, I mean, as much as anybody could fall in love with any kind of other industry, and the history of it, and the ups and downs, and the many different things of it, I just absolutely love video game industry and video game work. Um, and so Super Smash Brothers was one of those ones that I was super giddy to always get the chance to play because I never had it for myself. And so it was a super special occasion when I ever got to play it. And I remember the 64 version that anytime somebody wanted to go and rent a game, I was always suggesting Super Smash Bros. 64. And then when the GameCube came out, that was even more rare. I couldn't find that anywhere. Nobody really had it. I had very few friends who had it, and when I got to play it, it was just amazing. Um, I love Smash Brothers. So far as this presentation, this has been the most interesting one to me because out of all of the characters, this is the first presentation that we've had a massive leak immediately just say what it was and we knew beforehand. We've got a lot of theories and a lot of different things, but nothing was ever really confirmed what it was. And so this is really exciting to me that we're going in knowing hardly anything. There are a few hints and maybe misdirects and things like that, like Devil May Cry. They've been toting that they have an announcement today, the same day as the Smash Bros. Direct, and so everybody thinks it's going to be Devil May Cry in Smash Brothers. And I would be excited because Devil May Cry is one of those games that I absolutely love. It's a bit more mature, so families out there, kids, you know, take it. Don't dive right in if you're a little squeamish to some violence. But and some language. There's a lot in there, so just play it down a little bit. Be careful. This is really exciting to me. If Dante gets in, I would be very happy. But at the same time, I think of it. I've got a lot of friends of a lot of uh, different aspects, and we've realized that there's not a lot of female representation or representation out of that of American or Japanese, and so it'd be interesting to get some other representation in there. Um, and I guess going completely against what I just said, the other things that have been kind of hinted at in this time. Cat, what are you doing? Um, I've got a black cat, a one-eyed black cat that we've named Fury, just Fury. Well, his name is N Fury, but we just call him Fury. He's a cute little cat. So this is a few other hints that we've had. There's been a lot of rumors and things about Doom Guy. I know that Bethesda and id Software they've been really talking about wanting to work and get a character into Smash Brothers. Um, but I don't know how far back they would have been talking about it, and if it would have been anytime soon. Cat, you're gonna walk over my keyboard and mess this right up, aren't you? Just lay down, and everything will be okay. You can see that tail in the screen. Yeah. um. So, Doom Guy. We've also had. Everybody wants Gino. I know that's a huge thing, but it's a very niche amount of people that would want it. I'd be excited to have it just to try it out because I never got to like I only got to play a few games, and so I kind of was stuck to the few bangers, the huge hits that came around. Am I still? Yeah. Cat, hi. Don't do that, please. Still on. Okay. Um. Just gonna refresh this just in case. Um. So, Gino, I never played Super Mario RPG, but and like I said last time, I'm not a huge turn-based strategy fan. I enjoy them for the stories that they give because they can have some amazing stories, like Final Fantasy VII, Chrono Trigger. Those stories are amazing. I suffer through them for the story if I have to. If I hear that they're an amazing story. Super Mario RPG just wasn't one that I was super into because I wasn't super into Mario all of the time, and I never played him in Smash Bros. Well, I have played him in Smash Bros. I just don't choose to play him in Smash Bros. But yeah, I'm sure you guys can go anywhere else and get better info on leaks and rumors and things. Uh, I know that Papagenos, I know I'm name dropping here, and that's a terrible thing. He has a really big theory about Arl from Puyo Puyo, and I think that'd be cool. I think that'd be really cool. It'd fit, his Daisy theory and the color theory and everything kind of matches up. Uh, I think that'd be cool to have the female representation, but it's kind of niche. Like it would be like Gino. I mean, Gino's kind of grown popularity because it's like one of those things. It's like it's been canceled and it's become a huge thing to the deep nerds, and they've spread it out and it's become more known, kind of like Firefly or something else, But Arl is kind of an unknown entity, at least to us here in the West. Over in Japan, Arl would be a big character. Like they know Arl, because she's been in turn-based strategy games and Puyo Puyo. She's shared between two different franchises. Cat, you ripping up paper over there? Sorry, didn't mean to bang the mic. So I mean, it'd be interesting. I would love to have a female representation. I'm just trying to think of what Sakurai would think as a female representation, um, and would fit what he would want with the game being legacy. Doom Guy fits legacy because he was the biggest introduction of first-person shooters into the franchise, into video game history. Are you okay sneezing over there? And then let's see, Dante would easily fit into video game history because of the way he came into the video game history, being a pseudo sequel to not Devil May Cry, to Resident Evil, but then cut off because it was way too out there, way too wild, way too manic with its combat. It gave the player too much power, less horror, more just action. But it became its own thing, and it grew a whole genre of video games. The term beat 'em up, like I mean not beat 'em up, but like action RPG, just gore love and ragdoll beat 'em up action RPGs. They pretty much stemmed from, I mean, the early days of the scrolling beat 'em ups, but this Devil May Cry created a whole new take on that, the 3D beat 'em up, and it was huge for the video game industry. Since then we've gotten some massive ones, like one in Smash Brothers is Bayonetta. She is a direct answer to that whole thing that Devil May Cry created for video games. We also got God of War. That was another huge step into it. Darksiders, and let's see, there was a Force Unleashed was another one, and it's a whole genre that this game created. So Devil May Cry would fit the legacy, but its term is representation. It's another guy with a sword and guns. In fact, he fits a lot of different gameplay aspects because he's got so many different weapons. So I don't know at this point what kind of female character I would want. But maybe I'm tired right now and I can't think of all the franchises. I'm personally a huge Secret of Mana fan. It's a early RPG from the Super Nintendo era that wasn't turn-based strategy but more action-based, and it was a free-form combat. And I love Secret of Mana. I wish there was some form of representation in here. Square Enix, you need to give us a lot. I know there was the one girl. I'm terrible with some names from fighting game franchises. She was in the last trailer for Terry Bogard, the girl with the hawk. I know that she was highly speculated to be a character in the game, and people wanted her to be in there. And she technically, she's there, but she's more of a background, and she got a Mii fighter costume. I guess the Mii sword fighter costume. And he came out and deliberately said that he took a lot of aspects of her and put it into the kid of the sword fighter, so it was kind of meant for her. So yeah, that's a fun thing to talk about. Now there's other things here. If we look at it, we got the 3 question marks and him holding up 3 fingers. That's caused a lot of uproar, and I think that's more of a just to throw people off than it is to do anything else. I think that's I don't know if we're getting 3 announcements. I'd love it. I'm sure there'd be something more than just characters, because we've got the whole second fighter pass to talk about. And so will we hear anything about that? Will we get hints of what the first character is? Will he just tell us who the first character is? Is this a double reveal or a triple reveal? I don't know. So the 3 is really interesting. It's a common theme. And everybody's jumping in on that. Like the Devil May Cry 3 is coming to Switch, and so there's a 3 there. Kingdom Hearts 3, ooh. But then also like the No More Heroes 3 guy has thrown his hat in there saying, ooh, this is special for us too. And it's been insane. I love that we don't know, and that there's so many different things. Ninja Gaiden has been theorized and rumored for so long, and I love it. It's exciting to me. So I mean, what do you guys think? Oh, are we not live? Come on. Okay, yeah. So I this is the official Nintendo stream right here going on. I wonder if it's gonna break like the Pokemon did and loop. If you guys remember that, watching the last one, they kind of had a stutter, a glitch in the presentation, ended up making it loop, and then it ended up making the stream cut off early. People are saying Crash for Smash. He was another legacy character. He had evolved the kind of the running platforming aspect of video games. Like nowadays, we can easily tell the amount a character can jump and make, and they let's see, they illustrate it, or they telegraph how far a character can jump really easy by the way that they put up platforms and things, and they kind of make it to where it's almost just at the full extent of your jump, or they make it real simple for you to be able to land and jump. And Crash Bandicoot was one of those games that just you had to figure out the finesse of his jump to be able to do the jumps, because you could either over jump, under jump, or just completely whiff everything entirely. And then like you had no real clue on like how far reach your attacks had, because your character really didn't attack in a very fluid way. And so it was very much a game of learning your own extents, or the character's extents, his hitbox versus his jump range, And so he created a whole different thing and was huge in speedrunning. And so I think he would be a great representation and being a classic mascot. And if we go to that route, we could think of other mascots as well. I mean, Spyro's, he's on the Switch now, and he'd be a fun character to have, but you know, how much more can you do with a dragon? You'd have the Stomp, the Fire Breath, the Ram. I mean, you could add a few things. You'd have to add a lot for his kit. I'm sure there's other things that I'm not thinking of because it's been a long time since I've played the game. But yeah, let's see, other mascots. I mean, some of them are just tied down to Sony. Some of them are tied down to Microsoft. But that gate's been opened with Banjo-Kazooie coming back to Nintendo for the Smash Bros. I mean, we could get Master Chief. That'd be cool. Once again, I'm trying to think of representation for female and other. You know, it's like, what, I don't want to go stereotypical and say like cooking mama, or, you know, this is kind of stuff like that, because I don't know if people would want that entirely. Oh, here we go.
Hello everyone, I'm Masahiro Sakurai.
Hello,
director of Super
Sakurai!
Smash Bros. Ultimate from Sora Limited.
He has 4 controllers.
We'll be using today's showcase to give you a first look at our next DLC fighter.
He's just going into it. We're getting a
Hardly
look.
anyone knows what we'll be announcing today, even among Nintendo staff worldwide.
They really kept this one close to the
Other
chest.
stakeholders have been working on this fighter with the utmost secrecy,
Wow.
which means other Nintendo staff around the globe will only start making preparations for release after the showcase has been broadcast.
Sheesh, that's
So,
tough
it
on
won't
your
be available
people,
right
but
away.
fun
Please understand that it will take
for
a little
us.
time.
It'll
I
take a
think
little bit
even
of time, so
many
it's not going to
Nintendo
be
employees
immediate
will be
release.
surprised to see this and say, "Wow, really?" So, let's all share in the fun of getting our hands on the latest information.
Let's do it. Come on.
However,
Why do you have
easy to
4
say,
controllers?
That's not the character I was picturing. I hope you don't have any hard feelings. We
Not-
prepared a fighter reveal video. Once it starts, I think you'll figure out who it is pretty quickly.
Oh,
Now,
please.
let's do this.
Come on. Give it to me. Who are you? Is it another Fire Emblem character?
The time has finally come to unleash the forbidden spell of Zaharas upon our enemies!
Is this another Fire Emblem thing? Or is this a troll? Fire Emblem 3 Houses? Yeah. The main character from Fire Emblem.
Into an enemy's trap.
Was it her?
As you and I are one,
Is it
our two
her?
are trapped within this void. In time, our hearts and minds will cease to be. Are you prepared to die?
Fire
I
Emblem.
thought as much. I also do not wish to die.
I thought this was going to be another third-party character, but
There is no other choice.
the world is collectively sighed.
Join Smash Brothers already! What in the world are you waiting for?
You know, I have a feeling now he's going to announce the first character for Smash Bros. Or the second pass, because he knows the...
Joining Smash consumes even the darkness itself.
Okay, this is just ridiculous. What's chat going on like? Bruh. Everybody's so mad about this. Oh no, the world collectively gasped in exhaustion.
Sooner than expected. I see. Too many swordsmen, are there? And you wield the sword as well? What will you do? So that is how you plan to win the day? So be it. I reward your cleverness this time.
They even mention there's too many swords people. Oh, so they're giving a character with multiple weapons, not just swords. That's their answer. Byleth recruits Byleth. So what? An Echo? I mean, they're the same character. They're just the female male variants, right?
Of anyone, you should be able to handle the hero's relics.
Yeah.
With Arid Fire, strike with superior reach.
So we're actually getting more Fire Emblem styles, weapon styles in a character than just sword. Because that's a big thing of like rock, paper, scissors with Fire Emblem.
Along with the sword of the creator, each weapon matches a direction.
Oh, there's the map.
Your will and mine
Okay.
now as one. To you, both sides of time are revealed. Through Smash, show the world.
Yay.
Yes, there you have it. Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses is joining the battle.
I wonder if this is way
Fire
more
Emblem Three
exciting
Houses was
in
released
Japan
just
than it
last
is for
summer,
us
so
over
it's
here.
Still very new. Even so, you'll soon be able to play as them in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This release is planned for January 28th. You'll have instant access if you have the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass, and it will also be available for purchase.
January
individually.
28th. Okay.
In case you're not familiar with Fire Emblem, I'll explain it
Okay.
in pieces, so don't worry. First off, what is Fire Emblem?
Is this going to be the whole direct?
It's really hard to pronounce in Japanese. The producer said it's okay if I just say Fire Emblem. But when writing it, if you don't write Fire Emblem, the Fire Emblem police will come and get you, so please be careful.
Emblem.
The series'
Woo.
first entry launched in Japan on the Famicom in 1990. You could say it was a pioneer in the genre of tactical role-playing games.
So, well, hey, you know, we've got an announcement for Devil May Cry coming out sometime today. So, hey,
Tactical in that it simulates
look forward to that.
You can think of it as moving pieces in a board game.
And they did fill the answer for, you know, another female character, but unfortunately it had to be a main character from Fire Emblem that had the option of male
When we
or
talk about
female.
tactical games of that era, there were lots of ones in which you command tanks, aircrafts, and so on.
You can tell I'm not a
Fire
huge
Emblem
Fire
was
Emblem
unique
fan.
because each unit was a specific
It's-
character, sort of
It's a
like
turn-based strategy. I mean, it's more tactical than that, and it's got a lot more moving pieces.
Plus,
I understand.
stand out from
I
other
understand.
products.
But
Characters could permanently die. That's pretty direct language, though, so perhaps we should just say they're sleeping with the fishes.
don't want to say die in a
If
kid's
character
game.
fell in battle, you'd lose that unit. They'd be gone, and you couldn't use them again.
Yep.
Recent entries in the series maintain this concept of permadeath to some degree in classic mode and what have you. But a lot of games now allow
Permadeath.
strategic
He said the
withdrawals, so to
word.
speak.
The term. Permadeath.
In the older games, your units would really be gone, never to be mentioned again. Scary. The game's stories are told like chronicles of war, with increasingly distinct characters and engrossing scenarios.
So this is just a big advertisement for
Several characters
Fire
also appear in
Emblem
the Super Smash
games.
Brothers series, and 6 of the 7 can use a counterattack. It's their down special.
Yep.
There's actually a reason for this. When I was considering how to incorporate Fire Emblem Fighters into Super Smash Bros. Melee, I thought it might be interesting to reflect the turn-based nature of the original game. First comes your opponent's turn. They attack and you counter. Next comes your turn. And now, Fire Emblem Three Houses is the 17th game in the series. People who aren't Japanese in particular might be thinking, 17 games? That many?
Yeah. Well, that's because they come out in like
Fire Emblem
threes
Heroes
each or
with
2
remakes, but
each.
you don't include the Satellaview game,
Every
Tokyo
time a
Mirage
game comes
Sessions
out.
Sharp FE, and Fire Emblem Warriors.
And the
It comes
spin-offs.
out to 17 games. Let's try saying them in the Fire Emblem Can You Say It challenge.
I don't want to.
I'll give it a try.
外伝紋章の謎聖戦の系譜トラキア776、封印の剣烈火の剣、聖魔の功績
There's a lot for the Super Nintendo and Game Boy.
心眼黒竜新紋章
DS had a lot. 3DS.
There you go, 17.
Oh,
今変な数え方してます
So you saw how I was counting in a weird way, right?
so that's
I was counting in binary.
the 3 he was holding up.
Fold this here and you get 1, and then you get 2.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 1 equals 3. So this would be 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then you get 16. Add 1 and you get 17. Awesome, isn't it? You can actually count up to 31 in one hand.
So there's not more than one announcement. That's just
And
the
if you use both
number
hands, you can
of
count all the way up
the
to
game.
1023.
and he's explaining his whole misdirect. Thanks, Sakurai. I love you, Sakurai. You're amazing. You put so much work into this game. We have another game, a fighter pass coming.
What
We
is
do.
Fire Emblem Three
We
Houses?
do. And we have a lot to look forward to. But we've had a really long wait since the last character came out. It's been a huge dry spell.
Violet becomes a professor who ends up
And
being
it
one of
just
3
turns
academic
out to
houses.
be another Fire Emblem
Once you've chosen a
character.
house, you guide them through their school life,
And
well, you
of
end
course,
up fighting
they're
three
hyping up
houses.
the game that's on the Switch.
After a certain
I want to
incident,
see
5
Smash
houses, you
Brothers.
meet
I
up
don't
with
want to
the
see
grown-ups
Fire
and battle
Emblem.
against other houses.
I'm here for Smash.
It's a very sad game in which your former allies become enemies, turn hostile.
I'm so tired too.
To understand the concept of Fire Emblem Three Houses, I played an early version of the game before its release.
So you had this character planned for a while
I've done
now.
the same thing before, with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, for example.
Have you played the sequel?
Because I couldn't wait until launch to experience it, or we'd have
I mean, I'm sure it's not
For
that
title,
ready
I
yet.
borrowed an early version of the game for 2 days, ran around all the areas, saw the ending, and realized for the first time, I guess we can't really have Breath of the Wild's Princess Zelda as a fighter. I did the same this time.
But you can have
with
Villager
houses and multiple
and-
endings. It was really hard to get a feel for it. And of course, there weren't any walkthroughs I could reference. The game has multiple routes, and the outcome of each is very different. Your experience will vary depending on the route you choose, and many of the characters you meet will adopt different roles in the story. I'll try to avoid spoilers when I'm talking about the fighter. I hope you'll understand.
He's padding out time. There's no extra announcements. This is it, guys.
Terry Bogard showcase video.
Congrats,
I mentioned that it was
Fire
recorded a
Emblem.
month in advance. But this
They
time,
own
we
Smash
have to plan for the
Brothers.
holidays and such, so we're filming 2 months
They
in
own
advance of this video's
Smash
release.
Bros.
Right now, it's actually November. Therefore, some of what I'm about to show you might differ a bit from the finished version.
They recorded this back in November. They had this prepared in November and they didn't give us anything in December.
For demonstration purposes. Here I go.
Yay.
So this is our new
Oh,
fighter.
there's a
Violet.
glitch.
Sadly, they're lacking in mobility. It's maybe a bit better than Robin's, but that's about all you can say for them. Throws are not their strong point either. Their grab lacks range. But actually, you could say that they're distance demon. The hero's relic they use changes depending
I mean,
on their
that stage
performance.
looks really cool. I wonder if there's going to be any
The hero's
interesting
relic is a
things
weapon
about
that
that.
appears in Fire Emblem
Doesn't
Three
look like
Houses.
there's a off
They
stage
look like
anywhere.
bones, and there's a reason for that. First, let's talk about the weapon Byleth uses for upward inputs. The Sword of the Creator.
Sword of the
The
Creator.
Sword of the Creator here is Byleth's default weapon. They use it for flurry attacks and tilt attacks.
So it's very
down tilt attacks.
Ivy
Use it
from
for whip.
Soul Calibur.
They also use the sword for dash attacks and other moves.
Whip and sword, and then
For their up smash attack,
whip.
they'll whip the sword upward to
That-
enemies in the air. For their up air attack, they'll wave the whip
That's
sword
just
overhead.
what's her name? Zero Suit
The grip
Samus.
protection for this attack lasts for a relatively long time. The up special move is really something. The sword extends like this. allowing you to do things like this.
What?
It was pretty terrifying how I knocked him into the air with that attack. And in addition,
And he can do it more than one. Oh, and he's got a really good reach on it. Oh, that's gonna be
you'll launch opponents
painful.
upward until their damage reaches a certain percentage.
Oh, that's so early
To
on.
see
You can get that
percentage, you need to
combo.
be careful. You may find it
Ah.
hard to mid-air dodge. I've already shown this, but you can also use it to latch onto edges. So that's
As
the
you
special.
would.
Now for the sideways inputs. This is Erdfar, the same name as the weapon from Celtic mythology.
Erdfar. I thought he said air
First,
fart.
we'll go through the forward and back air attacks. As you can see, they have a long reach. Like so. Marth's air
There's
attack
walls
keeps
on this one
opponents
like there
in check
was
as
on the
you fight.
Terry stage, the King of Fighters stage.
If Byleth does the same thing, you'd win out, so you should be able to beat it. Next, the side smash attack. This also has a long range. It'll connect even from here.
Well, they're not barriers as much as they're just in the way. You have to knock them over it.
Also, if you add an upward tilt,
Yeah.
it's stronger.
Upward tilt.
And if you've knocked an opponent down, the side attack won't hit unless you add a downward tilt to aim for them.
So tilting comes heavy
By the
and
way,
into
the
play.
tip of the lance is more powerful.
Heavily into play.
The shaft part is weaker,
So he's a range-based
so it's
character
not
with
suited
this
to close
side.
combat. It
Yeah.
won't deal much damage, and it won't
And
launch
you have to have a
opponents
sweet
far.
spot like
That's
Marth.
why, as a rule, you want to hit with the blade part aimed upward. Or downward in this case. Next, the side special move. Byleth will simply swing the lance like this, but again, it has excellent reach. For example, even when your opponent is at this distance, it'll still hit. Actually, you can do a smash attack to charge forward a little. like
I got
this.
up this early. It's not that early for me.
But as you'd expect, it can be easily shielded, so be careful.
I'm
Use
just
it in
tired.
midair and you'll carve up a large area.
I'm exhausted.
Returning to the side air attacks from earlier, they have great horizontal reach, but they lack verticality. So this complements it well, although you'll be vulnerable when you land.
Yep.
Now, for the downward inputs. For these, Byleth will use an axe called Emir.
Amir.
It's named after a weapon that appears in Ugaritic myth.
Amir.
First, the downward attack.
Amir.
It really is strong.
Amir.
You can try for a meteor effect with this attack. Next is the down smash attack. A
Hits
heavy
both
swing of
sides,
the
yeah.
axe Back and forth. As you can see, it has a great deal
Just
of
give me a
velocity.
character with an axe that has special moves using
And for
the
down
axe.
special,
Like, instead of just,
channels all
I
their
mean,
energy into a devastating
I mean
strike.
that would have given us a lot more characters if they wanted all the representation.
But here's
But
what makes it
we
different.
didn't need so many sword characters
When readying
to
move,
get
there's a
to
super
this
armor,
point. He's got armor, super armor. Ugh.
which allows you to withstand an attack.
Oh, that's gross.
Just so you know, if you execute a Falcon Punch at about the same time, it plays out like this.
That's nasty.
It's a bit slower than the Falcon Punch. but
That's
due to the super armor
nasty.
effect, you have your
Why? But
Unless you
grab.
get grabbed.
Yeah. Come
Another
on.
notable
Come
aspect
on.
is
I'm
that
gonna.
it lets you pass through platforms. While you're charging up, you can breeze past platforms like this to reach a lower area. It won't let you jump. Also, you can turn around during the move. The swing takes a while. So if an opponent runs behind
That's the
you during
down
your move,
special?
you can quickly change direction. Even though it can be hard to land a hit with this move, it can be really effective when used against a group of opponents.
And it hits behind him too.
Plus, if you fail to land a direct hit, any opponents on the ground nearby will still be launched a little.
That's just a mess with a combat in a 4-player match. 2 people over there bouting, you just go over and smack
By the way,
everybody.
earlier, I talked a little bit about the other Fire Emblem characters' moves. I don't recommend using this down special against fighters from the Fire Emblem series.
'Cause they can
There are just
counter.
Loads of counters. It hits with that much power in a single attack. Counters can actually multiply the power of blocked attacks, and using easily anticipated attacks like this could just get you hit by counter.
It can almost immediately kill you if you have no
Next,
control.
neutral moves. The bow you use is called Fail Not, which shares its name
Fail
with the
Not.
Knights of the Round Table. It only appears in a few neutral moves. You've got the neutral air attack. This attack is similar to a
Where he
move
whips
hits
his bow around.
It lets you spin the weapon around.
Instead of, shooting the
It's also
bow.
easy to create certain combos with it.
I'm sure it's precedent in the games to smack
And
people with
neutral
the bow.
special, you'll
Because
let
it
loose
looks
an
very sharp and spiky.
arrow. It seems pretty straightforward, right?
Fire the bow, but
But
charge.
there are a few noteworthy aspects to this
Yeah.
bow. First,
Noteworthy
the biggest
aspects.
difference between this bow and Link's is that once you enter the command, you can keep charging until it's ready. You can't release it partway through the charge, so when it does fire, the arrow travels at high speed. It's also very powerful.
So you can't
That said,
short charge
you
it.
can still cancel out of the stance using the
Okay,
shield.
you can cancel it, but you can't short charge
You
it.
can also change direction while in the stance. It works up until this point, but if you keep holding the button, you'll unleash a powerful arrow that looks like a beam of light.
That didn't look like it took too long to
You
charge.
perform this move by keeping the button held down. You charge up power like so. Charge a bit more, and then
Poor
fire.
Robin. His
But
whole
again,
charging
you'll
is
need to take care when using this move.
pretty much useless now.
When you've powered up
With
the
how
move
quick
to
that
command,
was
there's no
versus
way
how
to
much he
cancel
has to charge.
out, not even with the shield button. In other
Of course,
words,
his is
you're
a
committed to
storable
fighting.
ability.
So you see, a situation like this is pretty terrible.
Wait, this is another map. Is it a
Once you enter the
movable
stage,
map? How many fighting stages does this person have?
Quite the risky attack to
Is
use
it going to be the
despite
whole
you have
school
food.
thing in the Fire Emblem Three
But you can
Houses?
always just aim into the fray, as it is, after all, a long-range move, letting you deal a single
Bow
blow to the
spam!
So you need to
Yay!
think carefully when using this projectile weapon. Byleth's final smash is called Progenitor God Ruptured Heaven. In the original game, there's a move called Ruptured Heaven. This is an enhanced version. As you can see, you team up with the mysterious Sothis and launch an attack together.
というものになっています。ソティスが誰であるのか何なのかというのは原作で確認してみていただければと思います。
Now, let's talk about the color variations. It's set up so that the default odd-numbered color variations are male, while the even-numbered ones are female. However, the third, fourth, and fifth colors are, as you can see, reminiscent of the house leaders. Those of you who've played the original game will of course understand what I'm referring to.
Nope.
The sixth color is based on Sothis, who you just saw earlier. And the seventh and eighth variations have a different hair color, which is based on something that occurs in the course of the original game's story. Didn't we see this variation
Okay.
in the final smash?
まあこれは原作でもということで。
Like a god form or something that they can do. Gerrig Mach Monastery.
I'll introduce the stage. For this one, we of course tried to recreate the place where you spend most of the game, Gerrig Mach Monastery. This is how Gerrig Mach Monastery is laid out in the original game. From these, we chose to have it cycle through the marketplace, reception hall, bridge, and cathedral all in one stage. It's the type of stage that rotates through different areas, such as these four.
Like the other Fire Emblem stage that rotates through locations by falling down.
The first area is the marketplace. I think this is where a lot of people come to do their shopping. The
And
guests
look,
that appear here are
guest
students of the Blue
characters
Lion's House,
standing in the
Dimitri,
background.
Dedu, and Ingrid.
They put a lot of work into
Not
this, and
Dimitri,
it's a lot of work,
Dudu, or Ingrid.
but
Their
it's
names
for
are a bit
Fire
difficult to
Emblem.
say.
They
The
love
largest
Fire
is the
Emblem
Kingdom of Fargus. Since it's a
so
kingdom, that means
much.
they have a monarchy. For that reason, I guess you
So
could say Dimitri's He had
much.
quite a difficult life and may or may not end up with just one eye. He's an unfortunate one, that one. There are vendors on either side. In the original
Oh, can I
game,
find a better
these are
character?
informal booths where you buy all sorts of things, but here you can break them, you see.
Hmm.
If you do break them, the stage will expand to the left and right. I wonder where people will buy their supplies now. And in the background, you can see the gatekeeper.
Really low
You
poly.
pass through this area in Fire Emblem Three Houses, and you end up talking to him a lot. Moving through these areas is possible thanks to this mysterious platform. Just when it seems like you've come to a stop, you'll come crashing back down, broken through the ceiling and slammed into the building. And the guests in the reception hall are Edelgard, Dorothea, and Petra of the Black Eagles. Take note, it's not spelled Edelgard. They're from the Adressian Empire. As
Edelgard?
such, they embrace their military might. Edelgard is one of the characters who is central to the conflict. Depending on the path you take, she'll go through some terrible ordeals. You'll notice there are prominent chandeliers above the stage.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you
It's
can
possible
get
to
on
knock them
those?
down. However, Byleth can't actually reach it, even though it's their stage. You can reach it with other fighters, though. So, it's nice if you can work your way up there by getting lucky and being launched up, or perhaps by using another fighter as a stepping stone. There we go, I made it. And you can knock it down. Also, you can break this table. Like so.
Woo.
Just like the sign
Like I
that
said, they
leads
put a
through
lot
the
of work into it, and it
castle
looks
stage. You can
gorgeous.
break
Like,
to launch
the
fighter
designs,
into
everything
stage.
in there, like, I mean, he's taken things, and you can show
Next up,
the
bridge.
amount of
The
love some
camera
people have
rotates
had for
90
this, but,
degrees,
like,
creating this long area.
why
It's very
this?
wide indeed.
Why this? This has been...
It's similar to the bridge of Elden Stage.
We've
The guests are from the
talked
Golden
about
Deer,
this. We're
Claw,
vocal
Helm,
about
and
this.
Lawrence.
We don't
They
need
belong
this.
to the
Maybe
Lesser
there...
Alliance.
Maybe there is a large group of people that we're unaware of, maybe that I'm
It's an
unaware of,
alliance many noble
that
families.
people
You
are
could say
aware
they
of,
have
that
the widest local
really
community,
have been asking for
and
this
Claude
a
is the
lot.
sharpest of the bunch.
A lot.
Incidentally,
And
both Claude
and I
Petra
can
are the
understand
names of
why at
characters
this
that appear
point
in Xenoblade
they
Chronicles
announced that
4,
they're going to do
fourth
more
title
than
of
one
the Fire
character
Emblem
pass,
series. I guess once
and
you
he
free the
decided,
soul of
hey,
the game
let's
and
throw
unlock
this at the end of this one instead of making it the first of the next one, because that would set a precedence that the next one would be just a regular Game Pass, you know, for just characters that you could expect, or expansions to franchises already in the game.
You can expect
But
plenty of
the
bows,
fact is that they
chains,
set up a
bridges,
precedence with this pack, that they would be characters
You could also say it's a
that
place
you
where
wouldn't
the
think
Fairmont
would be in the
British
game,
and in this sense,
that you wouldn't know could be in the game. But then they come out and do the one thing we expected to happen. The one thing that we called
the last
more
area is
Fire
the
Emblem
booth.
characters. That happened in the
Only
last
six
game
platforms you
when
can
they
climb.
introduced a new Fire Emblem character, when they
Guests are in the cathedral,
Corrin and
Their setup.
I haven't even
Appears to have
played them enough to be able to
strong bonds
recognize
since their
them.
flame. She
And
seems to
they
be
just
under the protection of Queen Rhea, who you can see fighting during the opening of Fire Emblem Three Houses.
they weren't
All three
very
have
well
separate
received,
quirks
even
related
though
to
that
their
they
true
were
identities.
powerful. And I'm sure there's some people that main them,
I
or
feel
that their
Flame would be
waifu
saying
or whatever
shush
thing.
at this point, so I'll leave it at that.
But it's just,
This is
Why?
the beginning of the stage. All it has
why?
is
We got a new Pokemon game. How about a new
Being the last area,
Pokemon?
it may
Huh?
be a place
You know,
where some
maybe we
intense
could have
battles will be waged.
gotten the Score Bunny,
You'll
or
cycle
you
through
know,
each location in about
something.
2.5 minutes.
but there's a lot of Pokemon. Let's see Byleth in action. I've seen a lot.
Okay, today we'll have a tag team battle in Squad Strike with the DLC.
Oh,
team
look, all
pitted
this
against Fire
DLC.
Emblem
Look how
characters
very,
throughout the
like,
ages. That'll
look
give
how
us
different
precisely
they
5
are.
players per side.
And then there's
All right, here we go,
Byleth.
Joker and Hero. Gee, we really made a lot, huh? Banjo.
Yeah, you did. And
By
this is
now,
all
I
just
think you
extra
know what I'm
stuff.
doing.
I love Smash
But
Brothers.
basically, I'm trying to defeat
It's
all
such a
5 opponents with
good
just a professor
game.
here.
Such a good game.
But as expected, it's going to be a pretty tough battle, so I'm using anything I can get my hands on. It's not going to land that easily.
See, it doesn't look like this character controls entirely well.
Then
Like they're not fast. They're not. Their reaction time is
I'll use this
very.
Got him.
Okay, that's just stupid
That's
NPC.
scary. He's invincible for a moment here. Lots of explosives. Ouch.
And they're so directional. There's not a lot. I mean, other than the axe, there's not a lot of.
If I do this, or like so. No anti-air, huh? There, the soccer ball.
No anti-air.
Good. There's mom.
Mom.
You're
Mother?
in a good spot, mom.
What? Mom?
Ah, I shouldn't have taken that. Gardevoir.
Metroid?
Well, I guess no one uses projectiles. At this point, it doesn't matter if Gardevoir's there or not. I
Like,
feel like the enemy might get this.
Marth has
See? I
has
got it.
more range to his attack.
must
This
get-
character's very left, right, up, down.
I can't waste this.
Other
time.
than just the axe, there's not.
There's another smash ball. Yes, got it.
But I don't know better than Sakurai. I don't know better than other people that are more technical in the game and know a lot more. But this is
There's still more.
underwhelming.
Go on, you can take the hammer, but it's mine.
I wonder what the
Although,
viewership
scary
count
might
is going to
if
be
you
for
put
this
count
video
on
and
the
how
stage.
long. Like, I'm sure it's going to be a massive viewership, but I wonder how much of a drop off it has.
I was trying to
At
fight
least in the
using my
West.
abilities alone, but what matters is that I won. Good game.
We're getting more.
It can be fun to play like this, especially in tag team, so I think it's a good idea to try imposing different types of challenges on yourself. The end.
This is all going to
About
be
the
Fire
additional
Emblem.
music. Since it's from the Fire Emblem series, we'll be adding each of the new tracks to all the Fire Emblem stages.
More Fire
There are
Emblem
already a lot of
music.
Fire Emblem tracks in the game. Our selection this time has been made
Yes.
taking those existing tracks into consideration. 11 songs are being added. This includes an arrangement of the main theme in both Japanese and English.
Ooh.
I hope you'll enjoy these as well. We're also adding in a new spirit board. It includes the house leaders among some of the other popular characters. Sothis is legend class.
No wonder nobody called it. No wonder there was no leak or rumor or anything. It's because it was all in-house. Nobody could leak it. It was held tight because they had complete control. They weren't dealing with a third-party company.
Something pretty amusing happens, so look forward to that. Now for the Mii Fighter costumes. Please take a look.
What are we getting? Maybe Mallow and the thing from Doom. I can't even think right now. Dragon Quest. Oh, Altair. It didn't even say Assassin's Creed. Are they not allowed to say Assassin? Like, it's just Altair. Smash Bros. Cross Altair. Rabbids. Oh, here's all the Ubisoft stuff. Are we didn't get a Ubisoft character out of all this? We didn't get Rayman. We got Rabbids as a Mii fighter, but we didn't get Rayman at anything. Please tell me he's gonna be a character coming in. Mega Man X. Okay. Battle Network. Yep, the favorite Mega Man. The best of all of them. You could have made them characters. Are they gunners? You could have made them characters. But, you know, they don't like they don't do the smaller companies. They don't do anything other than AAA. Ubisoft fighters, just no assassin. Like they didn't say Assassin's Creed. They just said Altair. So what does this mean? I mean, I know they have a big friendship with Ubisoft.
And for those of you who purchased the Cuphead costume, an additional song will be
You
added.
made a full thing that doesn't look like a Mii fighter.
Theme that plays when fighting Cagney Carnation.
The Cuphead doesn't look like a Mii fighter.
Hope you enjoy these as well.
And they completely skinned him out into the character.
Purchasing a costume,
But you
I
couldn't have
recommend
given
using
him his
the
own unique fighting style?
If someone has created a Mii fighter, you can play using the costume it's wearing immediately after you download it. And now, onto the amiibo. The color palette for Dark Samus looks pretty good, doesn't it? Dark Samus
Yeah,
and
it
Richter
does.
are planned for
That
release
looks
on Friday,
beautiful.
January 17th.
That looks gorgeous. Alright, 5 fighters join the fight.
そして今回
And now, with the addition of Byleth, the Fighter's Pass is finally complete. The lineup was Joker, Hero, Banjo and Kazooie, Terry Bogard.
That's an insane! Look at this! Look at this! Except for that at the
From
end.
more than 70 fighters, only 5 have been added.
Only
But I must
5.
say, this game has always been an exceptional experience. And since the roster was already so large to begin with, right from the start, we intended to make the most out of the new gameplay mechanics and so on. There really were a lot of new mechanics, weren't there?
Oh yeah,
When we
tons.
add a new fighter, we don't simply make their attacks or their movements a little different. Instead, we try to offer you
Except
a
for
whole new
Byleth.
style of play. As I stated, we'll continue to release more DLC
You just
fighters
proved
down the
Byleth.
line. I had thought that 1 or 2 might suffice.
Yeah,
Well, have a look.
have a look. What's this? Yes, even more fighters. How many? How many? 5 more. 6 more.
Looks like there will be 1 more fighter than last time.
Nice.
For this reason, we will be releasing the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass Volume 2. It will be available for pre-purchase on the date shown, so please keep an eye out.
By
Now that
December
it's official,
31st,
we intend to move ahead
2021.
with development. Of course, like last time, the contents will remain unknown for now, and I'm personally very sorry that we have to release Fighters Pass Volume 2 when the details have yet to be revealed.
It's gonna be
Like
slower
last time, I'd
cycling.
be very grateful if, despite that, you would understand why and purchase it. Furthermore, the new additions have already been decided. Even if I receive many requests regarding potential candidates on Twitter, I'm afraid it would be very hard to consider them. But I still hope you'll look forward to it.
I look forward to it, Sakurai.
We're also including a bonus with Fighters Pass Volume 2. Last time, it was a Rex costume. But this time, here's what we have.
Okay. Another costume. A Link Mii fighter costume.
It's a Mii Fighter costume for Mii Sword Fighter, the ancient soldier gear from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Cute.
This will not be
Cute.
for sale individually, so it can only be acquired
Cute.
as part of Fighters Pass Volume 2.
Lastly,
スマブラスペシャル
It's
は
been reported that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the highest selling fighting game in the world.
yes. And it's amazing.
I don't
Thank
know
you
if
so
it's
much.
simply
I
a
love you,
fighting game,
Sakurai.
But I guess it's seen as a fighting game around the world.
The question everybody's
Seems
been
like Street
asking.
Fighter 2 was in the lead for a while, but now Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has surpassed it in total sales. However, I'm not sure if this is accurate. There were 5 versions of Street Fighter 2, or 6 to 7 if we really want to get into the weeds. Plus, there's the arcade versions and the 25 ports to other systems.
He wants
so
to
I don't know if
defend the
it's composite
classics.
for. Also, I
My
don't
game
know if
isn't
it-
technically a fighting game, it's a party game.
It's up for discussion. So, who knows? But when it comes to a single piece of software, it seems like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is number 1. Although, I still don't know if it can really be called just a fighting game.
It's a party game. He's never liked
Like
it
it's
being a
become more than
fighting game.
Some sort of celebration of gaming or something else entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I feel a deep attachment to the 5 DLC fighters. The first Fighters Pass just wrapped up, but it was decided that there will be more DLC, which means no breaks for me. I plan to keep working hard, so I hope you can continue to support us. That's it. Thank you.
That's it. Thank you, Sakurai. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sakurai, for everything you've done. It's awesome. December 23rd, 2021. That's a long time. That's a year and 11 months. That means the announcement cycle is going to really slow down, isn't it? That breath that we've had between, what was it, October or November that we had the last one? Up until now? That's going to be the usual. It's slowing down that much. 6 fighters, but he gave us 2 full years, basically, to have for the announcement slots. Sakurai, you really do need a break. Oh, you're all crybabies for not getting your character. We weren't expecting our character. And you shouldn't be crying about that, about other people crying. Because we got more of the same that we've had that's been too much. Well, hey, we got a whole fighter pass to look forward to. 6 characters. Maybe Dante's one of them. Maybe. I'm excited to find out. All right. Well, thanks, guys, for joining me. We'll see you next time. Don't have much to say after that. I think I've already covered pretty much my opinion on all this. All right. See you guys. Have a good morning. Bye.